Brian Kelly met with the media over the weekend, kind of getting ready for bowl prep. They've started practice. They're out there on the field. And while really the vast majority of the focus is on the transfer portal and the signing class that will start inking their names to signing paper on Wednesday, there is some direction towards Purdue in the bowl game. I can't say how much is being reciprocated up in West Lafayette, but certainly here they're locking in on the Citrus Bowl. And there was some news that Brian Kelly was talking about. I liked what he said about the secondary that Jarek Bernard-Converse and Jay Ward are going to play. That's the state of college football now. You have to announce when players are going to play as opposed to when they're not going to play. But the most important news nugget from Brian Kelly was certainly regarding the quarterback position. He said if there was a game tomorrow, Jayden Daniels would be ready to go. We know that he was really banged up entering the Georgia game, and it got worse in that game, so much so that he came out of the game. He was in a walking boot for a week or 10 days, but it appears he's back out there on the practice field and is prepared to play in this game. There are a lot of different pieces to this LSU quarterback puzzle. Who's playing in the bowl game? Who's starting in the bowl game? Who's entering the transfer portal? Who's not? What's looking like for next year? Where are the reps at? There's a lot of moving pieces, and we don't have enough information to speak to it wholly. But this is one piece of the puzzle, is that Jayden Daniels is apparently prepared to play in this game. And when I say that, I mean like he's not leaving to go to the draft right now. So it would make sense that he would be the starting quarterback in this game. That's what I'm going to assume. And when I have discussions with friends or family members or just people, sometimes via Twitter or the Bayou Ford chat, whatever it may be, and the quarterback position comes up, I feel like it's like 95% in support of Garrett Nussmeier and dismissive of Jayden Daniels. And I do understand the upside of Garrett Nussmeier. Like I've said on this show, I think the likelihood of LSU's offense becoming a very, very potent and high-powered passing offense is more likely with the development of Garrett Nussmeier and the limiting of his turnovers, as opposed to Jayden Daniels flipping the switch and becoming really aggressive down the field. I've said that. But I think far more people are like, Daniels is not a winner. He's not going to win us games. Nussmeier's got to be the guy if you're going to be a great team next year. I feel like that's not like the vocal minority. I feel like that is the majority of people. And while, yes, Garrett Nussmeier is more decisive and probably definitely has a better, a stronger arm, it's not like Jayden Daniels was a disaster this year. Yeah, like I get it. People were frustrated at times when he would sit back in the pocket and not deliver the ball. I get that. But by the same token, you do realize they went right down the field on Florida 6 times in a row, right? You realize he made plays to get you all the way back into the Florida State game, right? You saw the Bama game. Pretty good effort. And I think people, because the backup quarterback's always the most popular guy on campus, there's always... Did you forget the fact that you have a quarterback back there in Jayden Daniels who, when he does tuck it and run it, none of the linebackers ever catch him? He outruns them every time. Did you see overtime against Bama? Not all the quarterbacks can do that. It's a pretty special skill set. I said week after week after week on here that I wanted him to be more decisive. I wanted him to put the ball in the air. I wanted the 50-50 balls to let these wide receivers go make plays. So don't misunderstand and think that I'm sitting here telling you that Jayden Daniels is the answer to everything. He's an all-conference quarterback and definitely needs to be the quarterback next year. Like, I'm not trying to make massive sweeping judgments. I'm just trying to temper the other side a little bit and say, hey, the guy is pretty good. Is he perfect? No. But he's pretty good. And I'd welcome him back on the team next year. And I bet there's a big percentage of y'all driving around your cars, listening to this wherever you may be, catching it on YouTube. They're saying, no. We got to have Nussmeier, Walker Howard's the future. Daniels doesn't throw the ball enough. He holds on to it too long. Like, I agree. At times, he did hold on to it too long. But at times, he made some really good plays. I thought he gutted the first half of the Georgia game out really admirably. I did. And I think he made a lot of great plays throughout the year. He was really productive. There were times where he was the whole offense. They could not run the ball. There were issues getting the ball down the field. Some of that's on him. Some of it's not. But he's a special dude running the football. I've never seen a quarterback at LSU that could move like that. So for me, the news that he's prepared to play in the bowl game, I think is noteworthy, and I'm okay with it. I think it's probably a more interesting storyline if you're just talking talk radio. If Garrett Nussmeier goes out there and lights it up, I think that creates a lot of interesting discussion here in Baton Rouge. But as far as the program goes, it's hard for me to try to kick this guy out of town when he's been, he won most outstanding player on the offense this year at the football banquet. Literally. MVP of the offense. So, I'm assuming if he's ready to go, he's the starter. I'm not going to assume that because he's playing in the game, he won't at least take a look at the NFL. And you can hem and haw and go, he's not an NFL quarterback. Nobody's going to draft him. Nobody wants that. Well, look, that doesn't matter to us here in Baton Rouge. And I think there are teams that will want him because of what I just said. There just aren't that many quarterbacks that can do that with their legs. And you look around the league at some of the quarterbacks who have played on really good teams and have won a lot of football games, mobility is in the NFL. Ask the Eagles. Ask the Ravens. Move around a little bit, they're good with it. So we'll just have to see what happens with the LSU quarterback room over the next month. Maybe it used to be we knew the timeline. It's right after the bowl game. For that next week, guys make their decisions. Generally, they get questions about it after the bowl game, and the answers come there or the next week. I remember distinctly Trey Turner telling me after the Outback Bowl in January of 2014 that he was out. So that's how that went. It's not like that anymore. Bijan Robinson announced today from Texas, I'm out. I'm done. You saw a lot of players have made their announcements prior to the bowl game. Doesn't appear that's going to happen here with Jayden Daniels. So we'll just have to wait and see. But the news is that Jayden Daniels ready to rock and will likely be the starter for LSU's bowl game. Hey, thanks so much for watching the Hunt Palmer Show on YouTube. If you don't mind, throw us a like right below and hit the subscribe button. We'll see you next time.